Good morning, team. What a beautiful day here in the UK. I'm back on my runs again. And as usual, I had a topic, I had a theme, some insight that is bursting out of my chest. You know, a lot of you may know that I work with business owners and entrepreneurs, and I see these common trends over and over and over again. I see there's a way of being and a way that people show up, and while people often portray this tough exterior, they're doing business, they've got everything figured out, I see right through that, and I think it's a gift that I'm able to see that. I think that's come through my own experience, my own work, and the work that I do with clients, that I can cut and see right through other people's fronts, other people's mess. And I always say it's very difficult to see the picture when you're in the frame. And so why is it so hard to see your own shit? Other people can often see it, but you can't. And one of the big things I realised over the last few days, and it's kind of been something I've been tinkering on anyway, is that while a lot of entrepreneurs, I see they operate out of a place of fear. Someone once said that entrepreneurship is created out of trauma, which is an interesting statement, and I think it's very true. Not just of entrepreneurs, but out of every person that lives on this planet. Some painful experience. And the pattern I see with entrepreneurs is this fear of failure. Like, they don't want to do stuff, so they procrastinate. They don't fully commit. I did a video about one toe in, one toe out yesterday. They fear the unknown. They fear the uncertainty. And so they look for certainty, and they do that in many different ways. They keep themselves busy. They eat food. They work hard. They watch TV. They might even work out. These are all just strategies that we use to avoid, because we have a fear that if I fail, this is kind of the formula, if this then that, if I fail, then this is going to happen. What's it going to mean about me? And for me, I always thought it was a fear of failure that held me back. I always thought it was like, you know, I'm not doing these things because I'm operating out of a place of fear. I'm scared of what's going to happen. And I do think there was a point in time where I definitely felt that, like I feared being a failure. But something happened 7 years ago when I started my first business. I left the Air Force and I made a commitment to start a business. And what happened was I got so carried away and I was so naive and so wet behind the ears that I made these huge, bold statements. I'm going to be a millionaire in a year. I'm going to crush it. Yeah, nothing's going to stop me. How naive I really was. And what inevitably happened was I got some great success in the beginning. My momentum, I was dreaming, I was believing in myself. I was like, yes, this is happening. But what I discovered was that along that way, you know, a lot of my friends and family, even though logically they were supporting me and they were saying they were supporting me, their unconscious was telling me a completely different story. What was happening is they were projecting their own fears upon me, their own fears of what mattered, their own fears of what could happen. And I felt that, and I didn't feel supported. I didn't feel supported by the people that I cared about most. Now, this wasn't in any mean way. This was just because they love me and care about me and don't want things bad to happen to me. They wanted to protect me, right? And I get that. I see that now. I didn't see it at the time. But what happened in that business was I ended up having to go and get a job again. So I left the military, made all these bold claims I'm going to be making $1 million in a year. And then I had to go back to a job. And what came with that was this complete feeling of failure, this complete feeling of shame, like devastation. And ultimately I felt like a failure. I felt like I'd failed. Even though I'd done some great things. I'd never started a business before. I didn't know what a lead was. I was clueless. And I'd made some good money online. But it still wasn't enough to sustain myself and my business partner at the time. And I had to go back to a job and I felt like a complete failure. So I felt like a failure for a period of time. I knew what failure felt like. And obviously my family, being what they're being, projected that maybe you should just crack on and get a job. Maybe you should keep doing this and give up on this whole thing. Give up on dreaming. But whenever they said that, a part of me died inside. And so what I continued to do is I continued to find ways, continue to build businesses, to innovate, to try and find a way. And what then happened to me was I found myself, I talked about it yesterday, I'd be going, I'd start really excited, go really fast, and then I'd slow down. And I'd go, and I'd slow down. And I found myself in this constant self-sabotaging behaviour. And I never understood it. Never understood what it was. But in these last few days, I've learned what it was. It wasn't a fear of failure I had. It was a failure of success. Because I knew what failure was. I felt like a failure already. But here's the thing, and this is the crazy thing about the mind. And people often don't get the mind as in, they think, but that doesn't make sense. Logically, it should be this. Well, here's the thing. This is nothing to do with logic. Your unconscious mind is the domain of emotions. Your conscious mind is logical. Emotions, as we know, are not logical. Try telling a child who's just lost his cuddly toy, but just be logical. We'll buy you another one. Not like, ah! That's what they do. Emotions are not logical. And what I discovered was that all my life I've been trying to do things to please my dad, to make my dad proud, to justify that I'm enough, that I'm worthy of love. And you've heard me talk about this before maybe. And when I failed, at least I knew I was a failure. When I failed, I got love, right? They put their warm arms around me, their warm embrace, and tell me everything's going to be okay. But then what happened, this is how crazy this is. What happened was, as I was pushing and pushing and pushing, I found myself being a lone wolf. I found myself procrastinating. I found myself trying to go around instead of go through. I found myself getting busy. I found myself attending seminar after seminar after seminar, so I could reinforce the fact that there was something wrong with me. I was broken. And I created a fear of success. A fear of success. Because here's what I feared. Everybody loved me when I was a failure. They put their warm arms around me, tell me everything's going to be okay. But what if I was a success? What if I was a success and then I failed? Or what if I was a success? Would they still love me? I don't know. And so I'm caught between this paradigm, because they would then maybe start projecting their own fears onto me about being a success. And so I'm caught in this constant tug of war of, well, if I'm a failure, I get love. But if I'm successful, what if I don't get love? What if people don't like me? Anyone ever said to you when you were a kid, when people get money, when people are successful, they change? Ever heard that one before? That's a belief and a half. A limiting belief that's definitely going to keep you stuck. And so I had these beliefs that were self-sabotaging me. And you know, there's plenty of times where I was successful in a traditional sense, where I'd make a load of money, or what I thought success was. And my dad, bless him, he'd just go, okay, you're going to make more money. And I was like, oh, that isn't enough. That isn't enough. So I need to go and find more ways, and jump and jump and jump and jump and jump. And so it's like, hey, even if I fail, I don't get love. Well, sometimes I do get love. It was like a double-edged sword. And even if I'm successful, then I don't get love. So I can't win. So I'm better to settle for failing and getting lovely warm arms around me than being successful and really not knowing. And the mind hates uncertainty. The mind hates uncertainty because it won't keep you safe. And so you may listen to this and you're like, bloody hell, Jay. Okay, how the hell do you fix that? Here's the thing. I don't need love from anyone else. I don't need to prove myself to anybody else anymore. Because I get to choose. I get to choose me. I get to choose love of myself. And nobody else can take that away from me. Nobody. I don't need to be anything for anyone else. You know, I don't need to rock up here with perfect hair or pretend I have everything figured out or pretend it's been this linear path. You know, social media is such a showreel. I just get to jump on here and say, hey, this is who I am. This is what I'm sharing. This are my breakthroughs. These are the skills and tools that I use to help my clients. If you want help, if you want a breakthrough, let's have a conversation. And you don't have to like me. I said to, I was coaching some guys last night. I said, look, I'm not here to be your friend. I've got a big heart, I care. I'm not here to be your friend. I'm here to do whatever it takes to help you get the breakthrough you need. Even if it makes you feel uncomfortable. Even if it means you have to honestly look at yourself. Even if it means having tough conversations. Even if it means being outside your comfort zone. I'm willing to do whatever it takes to help you break through, because that's who I am, leader. I used to pretend that I was a leader and I would lead people, but I don't lead people. I am leadership. And that's the way I'm showing up for myself. It's the way I show up for my clients. And it's the way I'm committed to showing up in every single one of these lives. Because if you take one thing away from any one of my videos, then for me, that's job done. And people often meet me, people often share things with me. They're like, oh my God, I remember watching that one video of yours. And you don't realize how much of an impact it had on me. Someone shared with me yesterday something that they heard me share 2 years ago. And they're like, see, what you say lands. What you say matters. What you say makes a difference. And that is true for me and it's true for you. You just may not believe it right now. But just know that you have a voice, you have something of value to share. Whether it be in your business or just in your intimate relationships. You matter. I think it's important that you get that. So from me, until next time, live on purpose. Love fully and deeply. And don't forget, laugh every single day. See you later, guys.